So in the last video, we have seen how to use a serializable interface to serialize your data. So we can use, we have defined a file, then file output stream to store that data into the file. And to store the object, we require object output stream. In order to fetch that same data, we need to use this classes, which is mentioned here. And then using this read object, you can fetch data, right? So this is what we have done so far. But let's say, let me have here one more variable, let's say int, and this will be the number of balls they have played. Okay, so this is number of balls. In order to save this data, what we need to do is we have to say c dot, will say balls is equal to, they have played, let's say, 35 balls. So Rahul Dravid here has scored 50 runs in 35 balls. Now, in order to fetch that data in this object, we can simply say a colon here and plus c1 dot balls, right? So we just added one extra variable. Code remains the same, but since this time we are changing this data, we'll first save that data into the file and then we'll fetch that data from the file. Okay, so this data, this code of this line of code here, they are trying to save data into the file, and this lines here, they are trying to fetch that data, the same data. Now if I run this code, if I run as application, you can say we are getting 50, Rahul, and 35. What if I don't want these balls to be stored in the file? Now, if you don't want any of your variable to be serialized, you can make those variables as transient. So transient is a type of variable which are not allowed to store in the files. So when you say now write object, it will write only those variables which are not transient, or you can say non-transient variable. Or your opposite of non-transient is persistence. So either you can, when you say it is int and string, they are basically persistent variables, and this balls here is a transient variable. Now to prove this point, let me just change this number. Let's say the number is 70, and the batsman here is, let's say, Lakshman, VVS Lakshman. And I know I'm going for some old cricketers, but let's go with the same example. And let's say he played 80 balls to score 70 runs. And yeah, that's it. I have changed this name and Lakshman and 80 balls. Now, since I'm making this variable as transient, it will not store this value into the file. And if I try to fetch this, it will be able to fetch this runs, which is 70. It will be able to fetch this batsman, which is Lakshman. What about balls? Let's try to run this code now. If I say run as application, you can see we are getting the answer as 70, Lakshman, and 0. That means that data of balls, it is not stored in the file, and that's why it is not able to fetch that content. So this is how we need to use a transient variable in Java, so which will not allow its data to store in a file.